four boys were in Repulse, were you?
Yes.
Yes.
Where did you come?
I come from Motherwell, near Glasgow.
I come from Belfast, Ireland. Come from Wrexham, North Wales. Liverpool, England.
What happened?
Well, I was on an HA director, and the aircraft alarm sounded off about 10:30, and a reconnaissance machine was sighted astern. But nothing happened for about half an hour when the Prince of Wales opened fire. It must have been about 11 o'clock then.
It was 11 o'clock because the rum bugle went, but we didn't get it.
A flight of bombers was sighted, and they passed overhead. And when they got away on the port side, a salvo of bombs dropped, and one of them was a direct hit, right amidships. The rest straddled us.
What's it like under bombardment?
It's a pretty empty feeling, but we can do nothing about it. It's our job to keep the gun firing and and bring down as many planes as possible. It's the skipper's job. He done a grand job in he dodged 19 torpedoes.
And the captain's last words were, "God bless you all." I managed to get over to the starboard side of the ship, and she was listing heavily to port, and I slid down the starboard side. There's bilges as well, and they acted as a kind of catapult to throw us off. We got in the water and swam round for a bit, and the destroyer picked us up. We were taken back into port. But the bravest thing that we heard of was a chap of 16 who incidentally came from my hometown, Liverpool, who gave his lifebelt away to an older chap who couldn't swim. And the young chap couldn't swim either, and he got drowned.
Now listen, by the way, are we downhearted?
No.
第5位に海軍部発表。帝国海軍は海戦壁島より英国東洋艦隊、特にその主力艦2隻の動静を注視しありたるところ、昨9日午後、帝国海軍潜水艦は敵主力艦の出動を発見。次の帝国海軍航空部隊と緊密なる協力のもとに、捜索中、本10日午前11時半、マレー半島東岸ファンタン沖において、再び我が潜水艦これを確認せるをもって、帝国海軍航空部隊は気を逸せずこれに対し勇猛果敢なる攻撃を加え、午後2時29分、戦艦レパルスは瞬間にして合中し、同時に最新式戦艦プリンス・オブ・ウェールスはたちまち左に大傾斜、暫時混走せるも間もなく午後2時50分、大爆発を起こし、ついに沈没せり。
まさに沈まんとする左レパルス、右プリンス・オブ・ウェールス。ある日のその快速戦艦レパルス、排水量3万2000トンの浮代も、一発必中の我が海の表しの巨弾を受けて瞬時にして撃沈、南海の無傷と消え去った。英国親衛戦艦プリンス・オブ・ウェールス、昭和16年4月完成の3万5000トン主力艦で、同じ8月この甲板にチャーチル・ルーズベルト会談が行われた。海軍国イギリスの誇り今いずこ、ジャバ海関原東南方30海里の洋上に発見。直ちにこれに猛攻を加え、オランダ海軍が誇る親衛巡洋艦でロイテルほか3隻を撃沈大破。アメリカアジア艦隊機関ヒューストンを撃沈。ここに敵艦隊、中にもライン艦隊の主力は瞬時にして壊滅し、敵西南太平洋連合艦隊司令長官ハートの戦死も伝えられ、赤道直下の洋上に각々の戦果を挙げました。これは猛烈なる敵が防御の十字砲火を犯して果敢なる爆撃を敢行するは海らわしと、敵艦隊の壊滅寸前を示すジャバ沖海戦の生きた記録であります。
南市の海を圧して厳然我が権益を擁護し、さらに輝く軍艦旗を東西南北に翻して堂々品船舶の 人政府の使命を制した我が無敵海軍の活躍は、地に空に水に文字通りを叫び、祖国的感謝と感激を捧げるのであります。東北工場に力強き大軍艦機を翻し、海岸舗装の強固な陣地より連日にわたる猛撃を浴びつつ、空へ浮かべている頼もしさ。やがて敵陣爆撃の解放は全国民にもたらされるでありましょう。品川の朝鮮的態度は民をしてますます傲慢ならしめ、揚子江沿岸都市における武日抗日はついに在留同胞の生命財産を脅かし、上海に停泊中の我が海軍は居留民保護のため不眠不休の活動を続けております。陸軍第1回の敵前上陸以来、皇軍の指揮いよいよ旺盛にして、上海の戦況ますます有利に展開しつつある折から、有力な陸軍後続部隊は揚子江下流に上陸を開始し、これを援護する海上部隊並びに空軍は敵陣地に爆撃を敢行して、日頃無類には上陸を起こし、敵軍に大打撃を与え、
人に知られない苦痛と困難があります。時に不流機雷を発見、その処置に万全を期し、その航行の安全を保つ。大砲を撃ち機関銃を撃つばかりが彼ら法廷隊の任務ではありません。航行遮断経済封鎖にその大漠たる流域を絶えず警戒する隠れたるこの任務の遂行は、時に敵前上陸をしのぐ精神的労苦のあることを私たちは忘れることはできません。懲罰病、航空部隊に守られつつ陸路愛含んで配本に急行しました。
世界戦士に賛として輝く我が長江進撃部隊は、関東防衛の前衛拠点国王を抜いてさらにそこを中港攻略の周到なる攻撃作戦になり、7月22日夜半を期して陸海空3軍の精鋭は一斉進撃に移り、7万に余る敵大軍必死の反撃に対して猛烈なる砲撃を開始しました。かつて7月26日午前8時半、ついに皇軍は要害9港に突入、反撃の日照機を翻しました。蒋介石が日軍100万来たるとも恐れずと豪語した9港を落ちて、艦口をわずかに50里、無敵皇軍は艦口を平迎して息ますます旺盛であります。7月23日、早う湖西岸に上陸した9港進撃部隊に呼応して、長江をそこを進撃した戦闘部隊の精鋭は、25日、9港上流3マイルに達し、東岸の敵退路を遮断、ついで特別陸。
大海戦以来、ここに早くも34年。今や我が大海軍の異様は厳然として世界を圧し、太平洋上波騒ぐとも微動だにせぬ心構えを示す。守りはかたし海の精鋭。
Africa welcomes the world's most famous ship. We are proud to present pictures taken of HMS Prince of Wales on her recent visit to the Cape, the finest vessel of the finest navy history has ever known. Although she is one of the most recently launched of British warships, the Prince of Wales already boasts a proud record, and she took part in the mighty sea battle that ended in the sinking of the Bismarck. The visit of the Prince of Wales has caused speculation regarding the recent announcement of Mr. Churchill that Britain now feels strong enough to provide a powerful naval force, if needed, in the Indian and Pacific Oceans. Should the United States become involved in war with Japan, he said, the British declaration will follow within the hour. It was on this deck that the British Premier and President Roosevelt met for the signing of the Atlantic Charter. The crew of the Prince of Wales come of the same hardy seafaring stock as the men who sailed with Nelson, and are they proud of their ship? This visit to the Cape is not merely a social call. There are larders to be filled. So from the Union's fertile lands come load after load of foodstuffs and provisions. Jack Tar's appetite is being looked after, and he won't be going hungry. A feature of this great seagoing fortress is her aircraft. Easily launched and as easily taken on board again, they are her eyes in the sky. One of the few privileged guests allowed on board is the famous four-legged salt, able-bodied seaman Just Nuisance. Wherever you look on this mighty vessel, there's a gun, and besides that, there are lots of others you can't see. They include impressive anti-aircraft defenses and husky 14 inches, and they're built for business, as the Bismarck found out. The motto of His Royal Highness the Prince of Wales is, I serve, and this ship carries it out. The crew of this mighty vessel are going to see that their ship upholds the tradition of the White Ensign and adds many brave chapters to the glorious history of British sea power.
The visit has recently been paid to a nursery school by members of the Turkish government in Britain. In naval ports, recruits of the Navy and the Marines are kept at constant gunnery practice. These friendly visitors saw for themselves the beginning of the training that makes British naval gunnery the best in the world. This is the groundwork that showed such excellent results at the River Plate and Narvik. Out upon the open sea, the story of defense of the coast is continued. Or rather, this is where it begins. The Royal Navy is still very much on guard. And this war has shown that the Navy is as good as ever it was, maybe better. British submarines have been doing a wonderful enemy warships and supply ships, and enemy submarines have been destroyed in huge numbers. Even the menace of the aeroplane is dealt with effectively. Enemy successes against the fleet have been more than paid for by the loss of the attacking plane. Lastly, the battleships. Those grey, forbidding fortresses that keep endless vigil make safe the lifelines of our empire, and they always will. However bad the news may be, now or in the future, we can stand it. And when the day of victory comes, as come it surely will, it will be good to look back upon these bad days, if we can remember that we took the shocks without flinching, like a battleship. HMS Repulse, one of the Royal Navy's mightiest ships, the 32,000-ton battle cruiser rides at anchor after a spell of duty. And the Vice Admiral from a French cruiser anchored nearby came on board to pay his formal respects to the British capital ship. He was received by Captain Spooner. French cruiser, the Montcalm, and Captain Spooner from Repulse returned the courtesy visit to the representative of the French fleet. The Montcalm is one of the most modern cruisers afloat, completed just over 2 years ago. Following the visit of Captain Spooner, other officers from Repulse went aboard the Montcalm to chat over experiences in this strenuous naval war. After the big ships, here comes a little fellow with a big reputation, HMS Cossack, destroyer hero of the Altmark rescue and the Second Battle of Narvik Fjord. Welcome home, Cossack. She bears the marks of enemy gunfire, but considering the damage she handed out, her own injuries seem to be slight. Superb seamanship and gallantry won the day in the Altmark rescue and at Narvik. Yes, we may well feel proud of Cossack and her officers and crew.
Norwegian waters are infested by enemy patrols. Overhead, the bomber. Below, the U-boat. Searching for Allied forces or for the Norwegian Patriot escaping to Britain.
U-boat, U-boat!
This is a British submarine. Who are you?
Den är engelsk! We are Norwegians! Can you take us to England?
Yes. Hurry up and come alongside.
Come on, come on.
2 hands on the casing with heating lines.
Aircraft very fine and starboard bows up.
Dive, dive, dive.
Dive, dive, dive. We made it.
The routine patrol continues, monotonously, day after day, surfacing at night for a few hours, and then down again into the depths, listening, on the watch for enemy shipping. There is little else to do but listen and sleep, sleep and listen. 3 days, 4 days, a week, 2 weeks. Little disturbs the even routine. Confined to close quarters, cramped, they wait either for the end of the patrol and the return to base, or for a sight of the enemy and a chance of action.
Damn it, boy, we got a bunch of Norwegians. What more do you want? What's wrong with an aircraft carrier? Beer rage #1.
The ASDIC list reports a number of ships bearing green 40, sir. I walked course towards them and gone full ahead together.
Isn't an aircraft carrier amongst them by any chance?
I had a look, sir, but I couldn't make out anything at all.
All right, let's go now.
Group it out, Slippers. Up periscope.
Something pretty big, whatever it is. What do you think, no one? No, sir. Too far away.
Ship's head.
155, sir.
Stair 160.
Stair 160, sir.
Diving stations down, periscope. Diving stations! Diving stations!
Hello, trouble. Oi,
What's happening?
diving station. Must be a war on after all.
Up periscope.
Well, this does look like something. Now what do you make of it, Martin?
Can't there.
No, much too broad in the beam. My God, it's a floating dock.
Stair 175.
Yeah, 175.
Right side, start the attack. Bearing is bad.
Green 10, sir.
I'm 5 degrees on our port bow. Call range 10,000 yards. Full speed ahead together. Down periscope. What's the time, pilot?
1837, sir.
Enemy's 2 bearing 170, course 355. Least distance from target will be 1,000 yards.
What a target. Good enough for you, Martin?
Suits me all right, sir.
Blow up all tubes.
Full ends, blow up all bad tubes.
Blow up all tubes.
Blow up all tubes.
All tubes flooded, sir. Right. Group it down, stay here together. What's the target bearing be?
Red 14, sir.
Up periscope.
Motors group down, slide together.
Stand by to read the bearing, Sigmund.
Now,
Red 17, sir.
Message to right, disguided log. Floating dock. Towed by 2 tugs. Escorted by 2 destroyers. Weaving on a broad front ahead. 1 trawler astern. Down periscope. Dock going about 3 knots. Destroyers about 15. The destroyers are zigzagging independently at irregular intervals. That's all.
All tubes ready, sir. Up periscope. No time for paper. Bearing?
Green 10, sir.
Let me know it's green 05.
Now!
Hold on!
Bar 1.
On to starboard. Full speed ahead together. Part 2.
Bar 2.
Part 2. Part 3. Part 4. Keep it down, number 1. Keep it down. Part 5. Part 6. Drop up. Part 4. Down periscope. 70 feet.
All torpedoes fired, sir.
Ship's ready to port, sir.
All torpedoes running, sir.
We're doing all right.
2. 3. Only 3 out of 6, Jackal. We lose no grip. Give the boys a big cigar.
70 feet, sir.
Shut off the depth charging.
Destroyer, come out on the starboard quarter, sir.
Group it down. Stop starboard. Stay head port.
Here they come, Martin. For all out there, they won't hit us.
90 feet, stereo 70.
Oh, Nils, you better all go back to mess. This may go on for quite a long time.
Yes, sir.
What about some tea, Miller?
Feet, sir. Straw still coming in, sir. 800 yards.
Close the lid down.
Ah, that's all right, Nils. The time to start worrying when all this cork packing starts flaking down.
Getting closer, Martin.
Just think of it. If it wasn't for all this bloody row, we'd sitting down eating at this very minute. Hello? What's this? A sweet.